Hi, it's me, Pastor Kit. It's another one of my Phoneside chats. I decided I was going to come out on the patio with my cup of coffee. It's just after worship, so it's kind of like coffee hour, except really lonely, and I miss you all a lot. What I wanted to talk about today was this directive that's come out from the three bishops in Michigan. Our own Bishop Bonnie Perry, Bishop Rayford Ray of Northern Michigan, and Bishop Wayne Hoagland, who's the bishop of both the Eastern and Western Michigan dioceses. They have agreed to do a unified approach to reentry. So whatever is happening in the UP or in Grand Rapids or in Detroit is what's going to be happening in Lansing as well. And they're quite clear about protecting the health and safety of all our members and doing everything in our power to limit the spread of the COVID-19 virus. And so they have drafted a plan that is comprehensive, rather intense, and is available on the diocesan website, which is edomi.org. Here's what I know. We are currently in what they call phase 1, which is hiatus. This is where worship is all conducted from our homes. No one is allowed to stream worship from the church, except in our diocese in Michigan. Bishop Perry has said clergy who live on site, who live in a rectory attached to the church, may stream from the church. So when Donna leads worship, you'll see her streaming from the chapel. So she can do that, but I can't. That's why you get to see me in my dining room every week. So we're in hiatus. Streaming is from home. Staff only goes into the office to do extremely limited jobs that can only be done in the office. So for example, Susie goes in on Wednesdays to handle mail and checks and things that have come in during the week. Janet, our bookkeeper, comes in on Thursdays so that she and Susie are not in the same space, and she does all the payables. Our counters come in to count every other week. They only come in every 2 weeks. And the depositor comes in the day after. And so everything is staggered so that no one is in the building with more than one person, really. Donna lives next door, so she goes in the building and does a security check, but the building has been closed for 40 days and 40 nights. Our building has been closed and will continue to be closed for the foreseeable future. When the bishops decide it's safe, not when the governor decides, but when the bishops decide they feel confident beginning to open, we will move into phase 2, which is reentry. This will probably be a lot of social distancing. We will have to scope out the sanctuary to be sure that people can sit with 6 feet of distance between them and any other person. We will all be wearing masks. We will probably have to have multiple services because we won't be able to squeeze 150, 160 people in the sanctuary. It won't fit. And so one of the things I'm thinking about that is having the first service on a Sunday be a service for people over 65 and those who are medically vulnerable, so that that service would be for people who come into the building when it is freshly disinfected. We maintain social distancing, and it's like senior shopping hours at Meijer, that it's a venue where you can feel the most secure if you want to come to church. Later services would be for younger people, people with families, but still maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, no coffee hour for a while, no Eucharist for a while. We'll continue with morning prayer, but we will be able to be together and worship together, at least in some way. As the society gets better at controlling COVID, if we get more testing, if we get more contact tracing, if some treatments emerge, there are a couple of promising treatments coming out. If a vaccine comes through, we'll be able to open up more, and the bishops are going to guide us through that. But probably it's going to be slow. I want to let you know that we are committing to streaming and doing much of our ministry online as we have been. So that way, for people who don't feel comfortable leaving their homes, who don't feel comfortable coming out even in a socially distanced group, you can know that there will still be worship for you. There will be options for our meetings and classes so that people can Skype in or Zoom in or FaceTime in or whatever format you want to use. We're going to become much more of a hybrid community, being able to meet in person eventually, but also continue what's become a fairly robust online kind of life. And that works better for all kinds of ways, even for church meetings. For somebody who's a parent, it might not be a great thing for you to shove dinner in your kids, stick them with your partner or spouse, and rush out to a church meeting. It might be easier to just come to that church meeting by Zoom. So we're going to try and keep doing this, maintaining this flexibility between in-person and internet church activities as we go forward. It'll be a change for us. So what's going on right now is that the staff has received a copy of the Bishop's Directive, and the vestry have all received a copy of the Bishop's Directive, and we are going through it piece by piece and figuring out what we need to do to be ready to reopen our doors. We will have 10 days. When the bishops decide we can move from hiatus into reentry, they'll give us 10 days notice, so that we can get the building completely cleaned and disinfected, so that we can be sure our leaflets are all prepared so that nobody has to touch or share any physical things, and so that we've got our usher and greeter program in place so that there's a minimum amount of danger from person-to-person contact. If you are watching my Phoneside chat and you are under age 60, I would really love if you would drop me an email and let me know if you're willing to help in this process, because we want to keep our most vulnerable people safe. And to do that, we will need many younger people stepping up to do things like usher and greet and help between the services. It will be a blessing to our elders if you can do that, and a blessing to people who are medically sensitive and medically compromised if you can be helpful as we move into reentry with greeting people. We will have to take attendance because we may be a resource for contact tracing. There's all these things we have to think about before we open back up. As long as the virus is still out there, and the virus is still out there, I know we all want to get out. And my patio is great, but I would really like to go sit on the Crunchies patio. You know, I'm craving a crunchy burger and sitting on that patio. But as long as the virus is out there and we do not have a vaccine for it yet, we need to be very, very careful. We need to err on the side of safety and of consideration of others and of keeping people as healthy as we can. So that's my goal. I know it's the vestry's goal. I'm sure it is the bishop's goal. She is going to be ultra, ultra, ultra conservative and cautious about how we go back to doing church and being church. If you have questions about any of this, you know I'm here for you. I have open coffee hours every Tuesday morning from 9 to 10:30, and that link gets sent out in an email. I am available to talk with you on the phone or on FaceTime or anything you wish. Answer your emails. Just let me know if you have questions about this or ideas about how to do this in a healthy and safe way. What are some of the best practices we might adopt as we go forward? I am longing to be back together, even with masks on, even with social distancing. Simply being in the same room with all the saints will be such a joy and such a blessing. So I pray for a swift end to this virus. I pray for people's health and safety. I'm committed to your health and your safety. So know that nothing will happen that will try to lure you out or to do anything that is potentially unsafe for you, and that we will support you in maintaining your own good health as this situation continues. I love all of you so much. Miss you. We will be together. God love you. Bye-bye.